Hey everybody, it's Tim Gillette. I want you to look at my shoe collection. Now this isn't all of my shoes, but I thought I would do a very interesting video about shoes today. I want to talk about timing and finding the right fit. Now, I want to look at that with my shoes. I want to see if I can I'm going to actually try to turn this thing back and forth as I do this today. Go back and forth. I can't be able to see who's going to be on live, and if you're on live, by all means, tell me you've seen this live. If you're on, you watch this on the replay, tell me you played this on the replay, but just let me know. We'll go over here a little bit. Hey, there he is. Okay, I'm like doing this from my, and I got a window glaring out behind me because of the way I wanted to do this today. So I want to talk about this idea today. All right, I want to talk about timing and fit. All right, and ask you. I mean, because I thought about this question today. Is like, you ever feel that the timing just isn't right? Like you wish the timing was right. You can't get the client right. You can't get the right client in the right time, or you can't make the money or the sale in the right time. I don't know if you ever thought about this. Maybe you've ever thought about, getting the right client or making the right sale in the right time. Or maybe you wonder if your cat's going to walk into the middle of your video or creating your content. Or maybe you're trying to get your content right and trying to do it perfectly before you do it. So I'm doing this in a very non-perfect way today. Haven't done my hair. It's all frizzied up and looks a mess. So I don't have my stand, all right, because I can't find it for my video, so it's shaking a little bit. I wanted to talk about some of these imperfections, and I wanted to talk about it, and I actually did want to use this concept of what I'm doing with my shoes. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back down here. And I'll go back to, there is all my shoes. So these aren't all of mine. These are some fancy boots I have, as well as some work boots, and I have a pair of sneakers and a pair of flip-flops, and I have a cat who just wants to roam around my feet because I'm doing a live video. All right, which just goes to show you that things can't always be perfect in life. So I wanted to talk about this, and I want to look at these shoes. All right, now this is not all of my boots. I have many, many more boots than this. All right, but some of you know I'm known for just having fancy and weird cowboy boots. All right, I love wearing them. They're sometimes they're comfortable, sometimes they're not. All right. Sometimes they're designed for a purpose to be dressy, and sometimes they're designed to be comfortable. Sometimes they're designed to be inexpensive. Sometimes they're just designed to, do a look. So, and of course, my cat keeps rubbing at my foot because I'm talking on video. So say hello, Sappho. Everybody wants to see you now that you're on the video. But I want to go through the boots here, and I want you to look at some of them, and I want to explain some of them to you. All right. Is the black pair of cheap boots. Those are a very, very inexpensive pair of boots. All right, they cost I don't know, maybe they're $100 or whatever. They're inexpensive. They're very comfortable. All right, and they serve the purpose to look cool, while they also serve the purpose of being comfortable and inexpensive. Which we go to that center pair right there. All right, is the center in the back there. Those were probably the most original pair of boots. I got those probably first, is what started my collection of doing cowboy boots. All right, and they were comfortable, as well as they kind of gave that rustic look. But they could be used for dress, but they could also be used, all right, just to wear every day because they were that comfortable. From there, I went on to start ordering groups and pairs, all right, after that. And that's when I got this pair here that I showed you earlier, as well as that gray pair right there, which is a very expensive pair of dress boots. And I have the gray ones over here, which call me while doing a live video and it doesn't work. Very similar design, but they're a little more inexpensive. So, those ones there I can wear and get wet, not worry about it. But those are a fancy dress boot. And then I have like this pair of gator looking ones because I always wanted them. All right. And then I have these red ones. And then we go down to a lot of the stuff that I wear on a regular basis, all right? I have a pair of sneakers that I wear when I have comfort, and I have 2 pair of work boots that I wear. And flip-flops when I just want to run to the pool. All of these have different purposes, all right? Some are for dress. Some are for comfort. Some are for support. All right, some are for work, some are for sport, some are for play, and some of them are just out there for dress, and some of them are just, there to be convenient. All right, they all have different aspects to them. All right, and I wanted to use these as a metaphorical thing about doing business. Doing business online, creating blog posts, things like that, creating content. Because so often, too many of us, we look at stuff like this and we go, okay, Tim's showing off his boot collection today. Yeah, whatever. This isn't all of my boots. But every one of them, like I said, has a purpose. I want you to see the red ones there in the corner. Those red ones, I would never have gone out and bought them in the beginning. Those are a very expensive, custom-made pair of boots that I just happened to fall upon. And I got them because I was in a position in my life where I could afford them. All right, and I got them because someone else had them made, and they decided not to wear them anymore, and they just happened to be my right size. Which is something I wanted to talk about, is size. Every one of those shoes, even though every one of them look different, are all the same size. So you see, not one size fits all when it comes to your customers and clientele. And I wanted to use these boots today as a metaphorical thing about building a blog and building business. And I've got, I think, let me look at my notes here. I've got about 8 different things I want to cover real quick, and I thought I'd go through them while you guys get to look at my boots. And this will be up on a blog post later. I'm going to put these notes in a blog post and do them. But I wanted to do this as my blog project for the beginning of the week, because it's something I've been thinking about in timing over the last couple days. Number one that I have it on there is just because some of the things that look good, it may not always be a practical fit. All right? Those boots right there look good, but they are not always comfortable. They look real cool in dress, but they are not always comfortable. Those ones are comfortable, but they don't always look nice. They look kind of rustic. All right? Those ones are comfortable, they're dressy, but they don't always fit a dressy situation. And those ones there are dressy, all right, but they're not always the most comfortable, all right? Whereas these shoes here are comfortable, but yet I can work in them if I have to do hard work. So just because something looks good doesn't make it always a practical fit. Just because things are all the same size does not mean that they are the right fit for the moment, okay? Again, the red ones down there, when I bought the red ones, I was in a little bit of financial position to be able to buy them, all right? These cheap ones over here, all right, I didn't buy them first, but those cheap ones were what were in my budget in the beginning. So many people have to buy something within their budget, all right, to get the job done, and then they can move over to the fancy ones later. And I actually do have another pair of black ones. I just didn't bring them out. As I said, I have tons of them. I just didn't bring them all out because this is the only location I had to do this today. Is just because something, all right, is the same size does not make it the right fit for the moment. Which brings me to my next point, number 3. Price is not always the deciding factor. Price is not always the deciding factor. You know, when I bought these work boots right here, price was not the factor. Those were bought because of the fact that so often I ride motorcycle, or I'm working like in a condo, or I've got to be on my feet all day and people can't see my shoes, like I'm working at a convention or working as a vendor someplace, and I'll be behind a table so people don't see the shoes. Well, those will be comfortable to wear both in a work situation or if I have to walk. All right? I actually took those red boots with me when I went to Vegas, and they were the only pair of shoes I took, and I ended up having to do a lot of walking, all right, and I regretted taking them because my feet hurt later. Those would have been more comfortable to do when I had to walk all of those miles. So price isn't always the factor. Sometimes it's comfort that's the factor. Sometimes you want to go running, or sometimes you want to go to the pool. You know, I wouldn't take that set of boots and go to the pool. As a matter of fact, I would never wear that set of pair of boots by the pool because it's just not, it's an expensive leather and I wouldn't want to wear them out at the pool. Price is not always the factor. So next, number 4 is compare the features of your product or service to someone else's. So if I were to actually take these shoes and compare them to someone else's product or service, again, these are all my shoes. If I were to actually, and I want to use this as a great thing, if I were to actually take my shoes and compare them to Gwen's shoes, all right, and take all of the deciding factors and all of the comparing things to try to compare them and make my shoes better than Gwen's, by doing that, openly admit that Gwen's are better shoes. That is what you do not do in the world of trying to build your business and your marketing and your sales. As you're trying to compare yourself to some other brand, you are in fact admitting that your brand is second rate to that brand. All right? Never compare. All right? I would never take my shoes. That's why I did this with my shoes and not someone else's shoes. All right? Because my shoes all work for me. All right, when trying to find the clientele and the customers for you, all right, stop trying to see if you can steal someone else's customers. Instead, find out if your product or service is something that the potential customer needs or wants. Putting that stuff down in blog and video is what will actually make the comparison work for them, and not taking someone else, all right, and downgrading someone else's product or service and then comparing yours and making it better in a blog post. Great sometimes to compare features, compare things, but comparing someone else's brand or service to your brand or service makes you number 2. It doesn't make you the leader. Let's move on to number 5. Find outside the box ways to create content online that best feature your products or services. You see, I did this with my shoes for a reason. Because these shoes matter to me. Wearing cowboy boots matters to me. Long hair matters to me. All right? Those are things that matter to Tim. So I take what matters to me and I use that to market my products and services. You see, when it comes to creating content online, creating a blog post, creating a video like this is right now and will be turned into a blog post, that is turning things that I love and care about into ways to compare and help my clients. What this is doing then, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm actually doing things that matter to me. Again, my shoes. I know a lot of you are going, why are you keep showing pictures of your shoes, Tim? Maybe I should stop showing you pictures of my shoes and switch them to me. So, here I am over here. And yes, I'm going to finish this up without having to compare all of my shoes. Of course I want to compare all my shoes because it's what matters to me. I like my shoes. But you see, when you do a blog or you do a video online, you want to be talking about, number 1, things that matter to you, and relate them to number 2, to the things that matter to your customers or clients. That's what creating good content does. So, that takes us to number 6. Talk about what matters to you and use them to market and sell to the clients by what matters to them. Again, I shared with you all my shoes, all right? And if by now you came into the video, this part here in live, all right, you've got to go back and look at my shoes, all right? Because that's what I started this whole thing about, was me comparing my shoes and talking about using shoes, all right, to find the perfect fit and to find and to make the perfect timing in your clientele and sales. If you're not willing to go out and find out what matters to your clients, then talking about what matters to you is never going to work. They have to work twofold, all right? You have to be able to find things that matter to your clients while relating it to things that matter to you. You're always going to be passionate about what matters to you, all right? So that is the stories that you help tell to compare to the service or product that you want to sell to the clientele, all right? The clientele is what matters, but you've got to take what matters to you and relate it. Which moves me on to number 7. If you're not willing to try it out, you won't. Yeah, I gotta read. See, I write my notes down. By the way, if you're not willing to try, all right, it out, you will not know if you are willing, or you will not know if you will serve the purpose of what you're doing. What I mean by that is, if you're not willing to go out and try things on, you're not willing to go out and try products or services. You're not willing to go through processes that people want to do. If I was when I want to hire a new coach, all right, I went through a process to find out whether that coach's system would work for me. All right, I actually did, I go out and I do like what they call in the coaching world. You do these free services or free calls to kind of get to see if that works. Right now, one of the things I'm trying to do is rent one of my rentals out. I make people go through a process, so I find information about them, and then I bring them in to view the unit. I would never try to get them to rent the unit without them viewing it. Never get them to try to rent it without meeting them in person. All right? Those are things that matter. You've got to make sure the relation works. All right? You got to be able to let things and people try things on And you got to let people try. You've got to go try out products and services, just like shoes. If I didn't try the shoes on, I wouldn't know if I would ever like them. Almost every one of these shoes, well, with the exception of the 2 gray pair, I bought them online without ever trying them on. I bought them online and they were shipped to me based on size from that manufacturer, I kind of knew what that manufacturer felt like. So I ordered them without doing that. But you got to be able to try things on. And number 8, my last point on this is just because it looks good, feels good, all right, sounds good, doesn't always make it the perfect fit. All right? Again, I can show you in the shoes, all right? One of the pairs of shoes I have, and they're there for a purpose, to do a quick shoot, all right? They're not comfortable to wear. They were inexpensive, all right? But if I got to go someplace where they could get ruined, I wear them, all right? And that was the cheap gray and black pair. They look like my dress good pair, but they're not. They're a cheap version that is similar to it, all right? And they're very inexpensive. And I used to have a pair that looked like snakeskin. Same thing, same price range, all right? They were very comfortable to wear. I could wear them. I could get them wet. It didn't matter. They were made of plastic, you know what I mean? And literally, I wore them out because they could be worn in inexpensive places. And that's what happened. They ended up getting too wet one day when I had to do a bike run someplace. And I had to be dressed up. And they just got too wet, too soaked, all right? And they cracked, and the water would come right through them and pour in and rain. So I just threw them out. They were done, all right? They were an inexpensive pair of boots, and that's what they were designed to be. Inexpensive, look cool, but they were inexpensive to do that. So you see, everything, just because it's not the perfect fit, doesn't always work. So you need to find the customers, clientele you want, all right? And you got to find the ones that work and fit with you. And I want to talk to you about this because I teach blogging and video. Number 1, you got to create content online that matters to you and relates to your clientele. That's a connecting point. That's what creating content does. Number 2, you've got to actually do things like blogs. All right, do it on social media. I made this video on Facebook Live. I will take it off my phone, put it onto YouTube. All right, and then I will take the YouTube, put all my notes from all my notepads. Well, all my notes will be put into my YouTube description, and then it will be put into a blog post, and the YouTube video will be posted on my blog. All right, it's a creating content process to actually talk about creating content. 3, all right, I got to use this content to build a list. So I want to close this out right now by saying 2 things. Number 1, if this matters to you, give me the thumbs up, all right? That's all you got to do is give me thumbs up, give me hearts, give me whatever you want to give me, all right, if you've made it this far in the video. Number 2 is, if you like this video, by all means, turn on the notifications so that you get my videos when I do them live here on Facebook, all right? You'll be notified. It'll send you a quick notification saying, hey, Tim's live, and if you want to go see him, click here, and you know that. I have several people that I do that with. When they go live, I get a notification, pops up on my computer, and then I know, hey, so-and-so is live. I can click over there and watch what they're doing. Lastly, all right, if you kind of like these little quick update videos, all right, and this is just a quick update video, blog post. We do more in-depth training on my site, all right, rockaroundyourblog.com. Go over there, sign up for the list so that you can get notifications, an email that comes out and says, hey, we're doing a live training this week, and this is what we're going to be talking about. Here is where you can go and see the training. That's where you find out at rockaroundyourblog.com, and it will actually give you a link for you to sign up for our list where you get the trainings free of charge. So that's it for this one here. I hope this helped. If it did, just by all means, shoot me a little quick email. Say, hey, Tim, thanks. It's a neat way to actually take something that matters to you and help me teach something that matters to me. If that makes sense to you, I'd love to hear from you. Again, a thumbs up, a yay. Tell me if you followed this thing all the way through, and I'll see you next time. I'm Tim Gillette. Bye.